This segment right here is going to be Facebook effery. You see a bunch of beautiful sisters who are nurses, black women, and we're going to talk about that for a minute. But this is a new segment on this channel. Not really. I've done it before in my other one. But it's called a Facebook effery, or I'm trolling, or I'm just asking questions and they revert to that as trolling. But a person posted a meme in a post, and we're going to discuss that meme about nurses. So this was a question that a young lady retweeted or reposted this post from this guy. It says, "Why are healthcare workers not getting extra money per hour to do during this crisis?" And Starbucks is shaking my head. Now, my typical logical response is, well, that's a false equivalency. That's an apple and an orange. My thought process is that healthcare workers take a Hippocratic oath. Their jobs, they get mandated to stay working. I don't even know how that works because they can't work 24 hours. Or can they? Do they have to take breaks? Like, how does that work for nurses? You let me know in the comment section. I'm going to go look it up after I do this video. But I know, like, COs, they get mandated to do 16 hours. But for people who work 12 hours, how does that even work? I think the law is like you can't do more than 18 or something like that. I don't know. But your job is an important job. And the one job you got to do is when there's a crisis, an outbreak, an epidemic. When all hell's break loose, you don't get to not work. And I'm confused at why I got called all types of dickheads and retarded and assholes and ignorant, because I simply said they signed up for this. I mean, we know that many people who are in service program and in positions of employment, they're essential, right? Now, the chick who posted this, she's works at FedEx. I think she drives and she works inside the factory as well. But so she's essential, so she has to go to work still because people want their packages. But I can understand if they gave them a raise for going to people's houses door to door delivering shit in the middle of an epidemic. I totally understand a person who works at Starbucks, a barista, or any fast food place that's still doing takeout or whatever, because they're coming in contact with people, and some people are like, F this job. You know, a lot of millennial fuckity fucks, one thing I'll give them is that they don't take the bull. As much as we blame them for a lot of effery and stuff that's going on with the society, they are changing the rules and changing the game. They gonna take their vacation, they gonna take their PTO time. You're not gonna talk to them any type of way, even if that means they gonna get fired. They don't care. They will go to school, become a lawyer, and say, freak that, I wanna make YouTube videos, or I want to be a journalist for a feminist writer, write blog, whatever. They doing all that. So I totally understand the incentive to give your workers more money who their jobs just aren't that really important. Like, it's open because they're anything dealing with food or healthcare or law enforcement, whatever. Those jobs are important. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying as far as in my opinion, not essential workers, it's still dangerous for them, and they're still going back home. And we know that nurses, they work in hospitals, right? And every year you go to the doctor, you see that there's around flu season, which this is the mind-boggling part. Is every year, millions of people get the flu and they die. I know this is worse than the flu, but my point is, millions of people get the flu every year. And I'm sure a lot of these doctors have higher immune systems because they're dealing with all types of nasty germs and stuff, and they take that shit home with them. But no one says we should get more money because of that. No one says we get more money because we get mandated. And what happens when there's any other chemical outbreak or anything else that happens where it's bad and it's a bunch of people crowded and they're all in a hospital all sick and shit? They've never said give them more money. So I don't understand why this situation, which is their job, should account for more money hourly. Again, I get it for the non-essentials, as I call them, essentials, because it's just dangerous and they don't want to go home bringing their shit to them to kids. And the person who works at Starbucks or any of these places, they probably in college, they probably in high school, and they probably live with their parents or got roommates or something like that, or have a spouse that have a better job, and they can be like, you know what, I don't need this job right now, and you're going to have to pay me some more money if you want me to risk my life to get people some coffee. Totally understand that. I would assume the reason why nurses get paid good money the way they do is because their job is dangerous, it is stressful, and it's already compensated for that why you get paid so much as you already do. I know a lot of states are changing the rules to make you have 4 years of nursing to become a nurse, but I mean, previously it was only 2 years to get into nursing school in college. So it's not like you need to rack up a whole bunch of debt unless you go to a school that's overpriced to become a nurse, or you can go to community college and then go to nursing school, which most of the women in my family nurses did that, right? But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? You tell me. Should nurses who already signed up for a dangerous ass job, a stressful ass job, and I mean dangerous as the fact that they put you in the middle of a lot of crazy shit, a lot of sicknesses and diseases, and if there's an outbreak of any sort, you are the first people to contract that shit, and you can't go home because you can give it to your family. So why is this situation different? Again, millions of people get the flu every year. You always go to the hospital, you see that nurse, them nurses that they didn't get the flu shot, so they got to wear masks. They're still at risk and that's the purpose of them, so they don't get the patient sick. It's not for them to protect themselves. It's so they don't get anybody else sick if they do get the flu. You have to wear that during the flu season until you get that shot if you don't want it. So, I've never heard anyone argue saying that they should get paid more money because they got to work during the flu that kills millions of people every year. But now all of a sudden they want to get paid extra. And not even them. And I don't even know if this Don Mintz person is in the healthcare field. But I'm just saying, it makes sense to pay a barista $2 more an hour, or the person who works at your local gas station or whatever, because they probably don't need the job. Like in this situation, it's probably not worth risking their lives. I'm sure the money and the benefits you get as being a nurse, a police officer, even a CO, right? COs right now in New York, they can't even wear masks in the prison. They have to wait until they go into a dorm, which a person is probably already sick in that dorm, to get the mask and gloves and put it on in there. But you can't walk around the prison with them on? Huh? Like, that's crazy. So they don't care about them either. They're exposed to the elements. Right now, they've quarantined 2 prisons in New York because our bitch-ass Governor Cuomo, which I have another video I want to do, because all this fake admiration, praise I see from the liberal media and black women is annoying as shit. I'm going to address that in a different video, though. But Cuomo did not stop the transferring of prisoners throughout the state, and we've had to quarantine 2 prisons where people had to stay there overnight because they were dealing with sick people. And I know for a fact somebody who I know who's related to one of the women who admitted that she came in for overtime to watch the one prisoner who had the corona because it was overtime, and she just took it. But she was able to go home. But whoever came in the next shift, those people had to stay. So who knows how this person passed it around. Again, she didn't have to touch them or be up on them. Obviously, you have to check on them, make sure they're not dead every half hour because of this. They're changing the rotations, and you have to check on the people in the dorms and prisons a lot more because they could die, and that's a lawsuit. But you're still breathing in the same areas. I mean, you're not in proximity. Hopefully you can stay 6 feet away from them, but my point is, they're not getting paid extra money to deal with prisoners that might have the corona. The crazy thing about that is 9 times out of 10, it's the COs that's going home and coming back and forth that are more likely to pass the corona to the prisoners than the other way around. But our bitch-ass Governor Cuomo did not stop transferring from prisoners across the state. And it's been over a month. And that shit is, and we've had a couple people who interact with the prison system already die. But that's just my video. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is that apples compared to oranges? Do you think police officers, because we can not just nurses, because cops, 3 Buffalo police officers tested positive for it. You got to think this dickhead writing you a ticket and all up in your face and he got the corona. Asshole shit. But I'm saying, these people who are in these certain fields and occupations, it's part of your job, man. Like, I think you get paid what you paid and you have the benefits because of that, right? Like, they tell you when you go after a certain job and people don't come prepared, like, they don't come in prepared and shaped, and they pass all the tests and everything, but they just couldn't do the mile run in their time limit. And what they tell you is when you're getting recruited, like, don't waste $1 million job over not being prepared. What they mean by that is like, come in shape and ready. And with all the benefits and being able to retire after 20 years or whatever, it adds up to being $1 million job. So, and I'm sure nurses with their unions can have the same type of situation set up for them. Their retirement is different because they don't get to retire at 20 years. But I'm saying those particular jobs, people want them for a reason. And there is risk involved. And you go into that occupation with the risk. Am I crazy? I don't know. I got called all kinds of dickheads and assholes and retarded because I said you signed up for it. But you tell me what you think. Do you think that nurses should get paid more because they're doing their job? The Starbucks barista person getting exposed, knowingly getting exposed to corona. That's not really their job. They didn't sign up for that shit.
You say how you think they scaring you? The TV ain't serving this shit no justice. The PPE. They got PPE, but if every patient is positive and having symptoms, what are we supposed to do? We walking around now with gowns on from head to toe. Everybody funky, musty, sweaty. We got gowns on, we got hoodies on, we got glasses on, we got masks on all day long. And the crazy part is, you know, people saying, oh, y'all need to come home. Y'all should just come home, money and everything. We can't even come home. Because now we've been exposed, so now we have to quarantine for 14 days. So if I got to be here for 14 days, anyway, I might as well come to work. So don't say, like, why you ain't coming home? Because I can't. It's the same thing. Whether I sit in the hotel room or whether I go to work. Everybody got it. Shit. Somebody can go to work and pass by me and I'ma have it. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't got no PPE on in the hotel. It's just that serious, y'all. Please don't take it lightly. Please don't be out your house partying and kicking it how we was, because we ain't know. It's for real.